Hey guys, I have some exciting news. I recently got a new guitar and it may not be what you think. This is the American Performer Sandblasted Telecaster in Daphne Blue. And this thing is amazing. I am really excited to have it. So let me give you a little background here. I originally saw these guitars earlier this year on the Sweetwater website, and I thought they were really just amazing looking. They looked, like an old piece of barnwood. I think especially in this Daphne blue with the darker grain filler in the ash body. And I just really loved everything about them. But I am a bluegrass guy. I am not an electric guy. And I thought, I don't need that guitar. That's silly. Why should I buy that? But my wife kept saying, you should get that guitar, you should get that guitar. She clearly saw my reaction to it, could tell I was smitten, but I didn't, and I watched them sell out. Several months later, I think around November, they got a new batch in stock. I started watching them again. My wife said, you should just buy that guitar, and I didn't. So my wife ended up surprising me with this guitar for Christmas, and I was really shocked. And so in full disclosure, I did receive one of these guitars that had a problem with the neck. And so the neck didn't really line up with the body very well. I'll see if I can put a couple pictures in that I sent back to Sweetwater. But essentially the pocket right here in the neck had a big gap, and I could put a pretty big, thick sticker through it. And there was a gap in the back. And if I put a straight edge on the back side of the neck here, it wasn't level and flush. So I sent that back. Sweetwater, shipped a new one out, and it was 2 days later I had this guitar, and I was able to go on the website and pick them, pick the one I wanted. And I really liked the look of this one because it also had some, sort of striations that go across this way as well. So the original guitar they sent me was about 7 pounds. This one's 7 pounds 6 ounces, so it's a slightly bit heavier, sort of I think a medium average weight for a Tele. But I think I'm really pleased with this guitar and how easy it was to send the old one back. I was a little disappointed that that guitar came, from Fender, and it's an American-made Tele. And it made it, into and out of Sweetwater with that issue in it. But, it did play really well, and the setup was fine. There's no buzzing or anything like that. So I think, without somebody really looking at it in detail like you do when you get a new guitar, maybe no one noticed that. So to go over a few of the specs here, as I said, it has a Rosewood fingerboard, as you can see. It has a 9.5-inch radius. It has a modern C profile. Super comfortable play. The neck is also a satin finish, which I really like. It's got a great feel right out of the box. It has Yosemite pickups and brass saddles. And a matter of fact, on the brass saddles, you can see where my hand sort of rests there, and you can start to see a little wear on the saddles, just a little tarnish. It has a regular 3-way switch. It has the volume and tone, and the tone is the Greasebucket tone circuit, which is supposed to, when you roll off the highs, it doesn't add bass and it doesn't lower volume. Clearly one of the unique features about this guitar is the Sandblasted Ash Body. And that's one of the things that really caught my eye with this guitar. So one of the things I really like is the Sweetwater site lists this as a gloss body, but it doesn't feel like a gloss body. It's has a very satin feel to it. And I don't want to say smooth because the grain of the wood is actually quite rough, right? You can hear that as I rub my fingernail across. There's different depths of grain that have been sandblasted away, and the body looks really unique because of that. So Matter of fact, if I show you this side, you can see like the grain pattern's really, really wide. But if I spin this around to this side, the grain pattern's really tight. And just depending on where you look and feel on the wood, it has, you know, different depths of what was sandblasted away. So my overall impression of the guitar is really good. There's been a couple of things that I've had to get accustomed to coming from acoustic. One is body depth. So I'm accustomed to a dreadnought size guitar, and where this puts the guitar on your body is a really different feel, especially for your right arm. So your right arm's a lot closer, your shoulder's in a different position. So I found myself after playing for a few hours, like noticing I can feel it in my shoulder. And I think that's a sort of the opposite problem that most people have, right? Usually when they go to the large guitar, it's like big and uncomfortable and all those things. I'm going back the other way. This is actually quite comfortable, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just my body's in new positions. The other thing is dealing with using much lighter strings. So I think these are 9 to 42s. My callings, I typically have 13 to 56s, and you know, acoustic strings have that heavier feel and tension. And you know, even though my callings has fairly low action, it's not super low, right? It's probably more medium. So for a bluegrass guitar, so you know, just getting accustomed to playing more lightly with both my picking and my fretting hand has been something that I've worked on with this guitar. And I think overall in the end, it's going to really make me a faster, better player, having better touch and feel, because you're not, you know, clamped down trying to hold on to the strings. I did want to mention that this guitar did come with a gig bag. So let me pull that up here. So this is the Fender gig bag that it came with. I think that's one of the ways they really cut costs between the American Professional and the American Performer, is you get this gig bag instead of the nice hard case on the Professional. So this gig bag, you can tell, is quite thin. There's not a lot of protection there. It's a way to carry the guitar, but I certainly wouldn't use it to try to travel or anything like that. But it's probably okay to go to a buddy's house and play some tunes. I hope you found this video informative. I didn't find many reviews on this guitar when I was originally looking, so I thought I would put this together to try to answer some of the questions that I had. So if you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing.